Bonjour and welcome to the latest episode of NDN Way with Jonny R, the podcast that records live from the southern shore of the mighty Red Lake. And I'm your host, Jonny R. Obviously, coming to you on this Saturday night live from the Red Lake Nation at an undisclosed location. And it's just checking in. I haven't done a true podcast in a while. I've been doing my giveaways that my sponsors uh provided me with. So I want to thank Westbrook's Redby Store, M&N Prentice Construction Company, and newly acquired sponsor C's Daycare. So I want to thank those tribal business, well, they're not really entrepreneurs for supporting the podcast and wanting to be a part of us. So that's good. But everything else, it's going pretty good. Coming off a fairly busy 11 days, I suppose we'll call it. 'Cause I know I had to dental last week, and then from there I had to go to Fargo, North Dakota, to perform at the Front Street Tap Room with my Indian Way comedy homies, Trish Cook and the Res reporter Fairbanks. Res reporter. Res reporter in the house. Oops, there we go. Where are we? Got some of his merch. Yeah, we were there last Friday to a sold out room. They had to turn people away because it was a smaller venue, smaller, more intimate venue at the Front Street Tap Room in Fargo, North Dakota. And it was well, for me, Thursday I went to I had a surprise trip to Grand Forks Thursday night to see Chris Stapleton, which is my first time seeing him live. I've listened to, I think I've only heard about two or three of his songs, but I got asked to go along, so I tagged along on a party bus. Right there was a red flag for me because when put me on a party bus, I'm gonna fucking party, which I did on the way down as well as on the way back. Um, Luckily, I had leave for work that the next day, that Friday, but had fun with some homies on the way down to Chris Stapleton in a party bus. Some family and friends, and we had a good time. Too good of a time. And then Friday, I was sick as hell Friday, hanging over, but I had to make it to our show in Fargo. So that was a rough ride there, and it was a rough evening. Um, Even though we had a great turnout in Fargo, uh, it seemed like that set I did, I think might have been over what 20 some minutes. I went over my time, went over my time anyway, but because the crowd was so they were on it that night, man. They were there to have party. They were there to have fun, to party, and just let loose, which we all did. We all had a great time that night, and it was sold out. And which I think they asked us to. They're gonna have us back maybe before the end of the year. So be on the lookout for that. We will be going back to Fargo. Indian Way Comedy, me, fellow Red Laker Trish Cook, and the Riz reporter Rob Fairbanks. And man, we had a blast over there. Just it was good to you know, just good to sit and visit before the show. And we had a host, Jan Severson, who did pretty good himself that night, and hung in with us, hung with us true resers, and it was a good night of comedy, man. I want more nights like that. Just Everybody coming out to have fun and let loose, and what it was all about. Yeah, and then I made the mistake of driving home afterwards, and it's uh, I wasn't the best idea because I think it was like 2.5 hours from Fargo to Red Lake, and even though I was well rested, I was hung over, and on the way home I got a little tired, and as scary as it sounds, I fought myself to stay awake all the way home, and it was tough, man. It's has me rethinking my go-to move of coming right home afterwards after a performance. I've done it all the time. If I'm within 5 hours, I'm coming home after a show, but I should not have done that. That it was dangerous, careless, reckless for me to drive home, even though I didn't even drink that Friday at the show because I was so hungover. People were trying to buy me shots and drinks, but I had to respectfully decline because I wasn't feeling the best, so I didn't drink at all that Friday. But the drive home, it was an interesting one. Thankfully, made it home, and that's one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I'm getting too old to. This traveling is a young man's game. I got a family and uh, wife and kids at home and a 9 to 5 job that has benefits. So I really need to consider cutting back considerably. I can't be going out late like that anymore. And I mean, if the only reason I would consider it now is if if the offers are make me comfortable taking risks like that. So it's going to take a lot for me to start going out more. And that even though our Indian Way comedy is starting to take off, it's best for me to think that way because it got pretty dangerous. Um, yeah, it was risky driving home that night, and then I was home Saturday. I was working on projects for my 94 Wars Productions. I do apparel or merch or clothing, whatever you call it. I had a project that was due today, 15th. So I did what I could on that, and that was tough, man. I'm not a professional at this, but I do what I can. I'm just learning, and I'm still trying to apply more of that. Add some skills to my merch stuff. And, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday I had to head out again. I was um I was invited to perform at the Tawahe Foundation Circle of Generosity in St. Paul. We were at the Minnesota History Center. I did a little comedy for them, and off the bat, I saw that it was a room that I had never been in before, and it was a lot of people there. It was intimidating. I rarely get intimidated when I go on stage, but it was one of those big. I felt like that big one of those. I felt like Commodus in Gladiator. Is where he's meeting with all of the Senate in his house too, and it was the. I did my best. I had fun. I had just talked up off the top of my head. Had a good time with them. Made some good connections there. So my niece and sister-in-law were there for support, and it was good to see them. And they saw me in action. Even though I am my harshest critic, I didn't really feel like I did lived up to my potential. But again, it was a lot of fun, and yeah. And then Tuesday we did the Indian Way comedy at the House of Comedy, and it was a Tuesday that was kind of a risky move. but we tried to capitalize on the Indigenous Peoples Day, which was the day before, and that it didn't really work out like every show. It seemed like it was doubling every time because we did it four times, yeah, four times, and each time we went out, we doubled our audience. But this time it was tough bringing a crowd in on Tuesdays, and but those that did show up, they had a good show, and we all had fun, and yeah, and yeah, we did our time in Major Comedy Club, all Ojibwe lineup. Well, Rob's half Lakota, but whatever. All indigenous lineup in a major comedy club, so that was fun. And again, I decided to drive home afterwards. Not the best idea. And again, I really need to take be- take better care of myself. I'm not no spring chicken anymore. Getting a little long in the tooth for traveling like that, but yeah, it was just bad decision to come home. But I had to come home. It's I can't be away from home for too long because I was already there overnight Monday, and the whole time I wasn't feeling it being away from home. So I came home the next day after I was done, which was good for us. Get the family. Even though I was only gone a day, I still felt like I was gone forever. And I got home about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 6 to help get the kids ready and off to school. And I went to work that day. So I was working off 3 hours, 3.5 hours of sleep that Wednesday. Was it Tuesday night? Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I got home at 3 o'clock Wednesday morning and I had to get up at 6 uh Wednesday morning to get the kids ready. And so I've been on a sleep deprived week, and that the other project I had due this week. I stayed up late again Wednesday, Thursday night. Thursday night, I worked on the project from like about uh I picked up my kids at Boys and Girls Club at 6, and then from there till about I think two in the morning. I was working on my project. So that was what 8 hours, and then I got from 2. I got up again at 6, so I was up on 4 hours of sleep, and then last night, same thing. I had to make a run for the family to get some supplies for their project they were doing. So I got back after work. I went right to get their supplies, and I got home about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I 10 o'clock. I jumped right back into my project to get it finished because it was supposed to be due today. And I started at 10 o'clock last night, and I went till about 3 o'clock this morning. So and it was Friday night, so I figured it was okay. I can stay up a little late. I don't have to get up for school or work in the morning, get the kids ready. So I stayed up till 9 o'clock. Finished it all, man. I finished everything I needed to get done, and then went to sleep about 3. And then the kids come in my room, turn the TV on full blast, and they woke me up at 7. So I'm on 4 hours of sleep today. So, but if you want to be a entrepreneur, have your own, I suppose, side business. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice, which I've been feeling these last, 9 days now, 10 days, and it's probably going to catch up to me. And I'm pretty tired. And I just got a text from my wife. She's she's sending me to bed because she knows how busy I've been these past 10 days, and it is taking its toll. I've been pretty what's the word? Ornery, irritated. It's just I'm so tired. And but again, if you want to make moves, with your passion or your side hustle, or it's going to take a lot of sacrifice, and that sacrifice is time. So that's what I'm trying to do. And But then again, I do have to start taking better care of myself. I'm getting up there in age, and it's just part of life. You got to take care of your own self, which I probably will be doing tomorrow. Kicking back, watching the Vikings, and just enjoy what's left of my weekend. And then the wife told me that mentioned to me she saw how busy I've been these past few weeks, and maybe time to slow down. And she mentioned that because I'm also I'm also going to do a open call for our local radio station WRLN, which I'm scheduled for Thursday. And I don't know if you know she makes a valid point. I am running myself pretty ragged trying to stay on top of a lot of my other projects I'm doing. Now that I think about it, I got my 9 to 5 job, one that has all the benefits. I got my comedy. I have my media production company. I'm trying to make what is it called? Like merchandise. I'm also I do traffic for the local radio station. I'm a bingo caller once or twice a month. All right, I guess I should take some time to myself and try and relax and recharge. But yeah, it just I'm at a point now where I think you know if I don't take advantage of these opportunities, when are they going to come again? Because I feel like I've been too Indianish to try and make moves when I was younger. I didn't have the confidence. I'm still a little self-conscious about my products I'm doing here with my comedy, my podcasting. I am my own harshest critic. So hopefully, you know, I was telling my coworkers there, man, I've been working so hard at this for the last 16 years, and I suppose by the time something happens for me, I'm gonna be too old to enjoy it, because this is a lot of work, a lot of time away from the family, and it's just something that I've pushed for years. So hopefully it works out. But sometimes the sacrifice doesn't feel like it's worth it. So like I'm at that point right now, and it's just do I want to keep pushing forward and because my time is becoming I realize how valuable my time is now that I'm getting older. I got my kids here, and makes me think about my older kids too. How now I feel I should have been there for them more, and I just want to improve as a father. That's the main thing right now, and as a husband. So maybe I'll just take some time and figure that because the rest of the month I don't have anything else on the schedule. So maybe I'll just take that time and fucking snap out of it. I don't know. But shit, I'm tired. I think I'm going to bed. So Miigwich for listening, Miigwich for watching. Thank you to my sponsors, Westbrook's Redby Store, M&N Prentice Construction, and C's Daycare. Thank you all for coming along for this ride with me. I truly do appreciate it. Miigwich.